Welcome to the Rich Flow of Life podcast. Join Valerie Kanay, the award-winning authority author, as she takes you on a journey for your personal evolution. Valerie Kanay talks to enlightened featured guests who hold the keys to unlock your unique life situation. They each bring to the table their very powerful personal spin to inspire and empower you to learn to step up your game into the rich flow of life.
Everybody, I'm Valerie Kanay, and today our featured guest is Fayola Delica. She is the award-winning speaker and author, coach, and radio host of the show, Finding Your Hidden Treasure. All right, now, so let me tell you what I like so much about this lady. She is highly ambitious. Fayola is the CEO and founder of Fayola Delica, LLC, which is a professional motivational speaking and life coaching company. Fayola is all about growth and acceleration for the human mind and potential. Also, she has numerous other awesome work that she's doing. But on today's talk, we are definitely going to highlight her wonderful message that she will share with us on the subject matter of building and branding your very own speaking professional business. Oh, yes, and she will give tips to the aspiring speaker as well as how you would be able to take and improve what you're doing most to the next level. Isn't that right, Fayola? And welcome to the call, Doc. How are you today?
I am good. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be on the show. We've been having to reschedule so many times, but I know that today was the destined day for me to be connected with you. So I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. Really, my heart today is talking about speakers because I meet so many different people who have such a voice, have such a message, but for whatever reason, there's many things that stop them. So today we'll be having 3 points that we'll be discussing during this interview. We'll talk about tips for aspiring speakers, how to improve your speaking, and how to take your speaking skills and business to the next level.
Awesome. Go for it.
My voice through hardship. I was a very successful healthcare provider. I was doing very well in my 20s. Life was great. Then I had to reinvent myself after the economic crash and thought I would always be a healthcare provider, but God had a different plan. And so as I had to do some introspective work, I said, okay, what's my next step? How can I take my skills to the next level? And through the evolution, and for time's sake, I became a life coach, not asking different questions, but realizing it's my life to share. So as we talk about aspiring speakers, that's a big deal. We talk about aspiring speakers. The tips that I would say to them is find out who you are. Introspective work. You really have to know who you are on the inside, because when you are a speaker, it's not just going on stage and sharing your skill set, your message, or your training with them. It's really sharing who you are. So when you're, and I call it the authentic speaker. When you're authentic, people will connect with you emotionally, spiritually, or what piece of them. And that's how many great speakers are great today. When we talk about Les Brown, Tony Robbins, of course, there's no women in the top 50 public speakers in the world, so they're always sharing who they are. They tell you their life experience and how that has morphed them to be who they are today. So tips for aspiring speakers, always perfect. You improve in your speaking skills. And then your target audience. You speak to everybody because you're so excited about this. I call it the hidden treasure. You found this hidden treasure, and the hidden treasure is really you. And when you find it, you're so excited. You're like, wow, this is my story. This is what I want to share with the rest of the world. And you're on a mission. If you think I'm on fire now, you should have seen when I first started.
So let me ask you a question, Fayola. So you say that the hidden treasure is you. And what do you do to dig in deep to get in to help them find that hidden treasure? You have some systems, some methodology. How do you get in and help them dig it out?
Well, as a believer, follower and believer in Christ, for me, it was a spiritual journey. You know, once I went to the University of Florida. I graduated with honors in 3 years with my bachelor's. Then I went to the University of Miami and got another bachelor's degree. And, you know, as a healthcare provider, I built a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home in my 20s. So I really identified myself by my materialistic accomplishments, by my academic accomplishments, my zip code, where I live, the clothes I wear, and the designer things that I would buy. But once I realized after I lost all that, I really didn't know who I was. And one day I was sitting in my house and I said, wow, who am I? I defined myself by being a nurse and all these different things. But when I said I know my name, but I don't know who I am, and that was very scary because I was those kids that I knew my history, I knew my bloodline, I knew my spiritual bloodline, I knew my earthly bloodline, but I didn't know how that connected with me as a person. And so I had to do some introspective work. I asked myself, what are my skill sets? What are some of the things that people give me a lot of compliments about? And for me, it was speaking. I would always speak to strangers. And so it's one of those things where I would say doing some introspective work, really deep diving into yourself and finding out who you are, whether it's your family history or in your life experiences or where you are even in your career, depending on what path you're going into your speaking, as well as identifying that you are it. You are the brand. You are the business, the personal brand and the business brand. So when you realize that it's you and you are your own walking billboard, when you start to put that in place, and that will help you identify how do you go through that introspective work and connect with what your truth help you to find out that introspective work that you need to do.
Very cool. All right. So go ahead on to the next point you had for us there.
Okay, so improving your speaking, as I was sharing earlier, is that you speak to everyone. Whether it's small talk, whether it's presentations, so a facilitator, a trainer, a panelist, a public speaker, whatever capacity you use in your speaking ability, use it as an opportunity to speak to everyone. When you see someone on the street, and it's really the small talk that helps you to become a great speaker. Because sometimes when you're on stage, you have a prepared speech or a prepared presentation, but you may never know, somebody may ask you a question, or you may get cut off or have interruptions. So really, I would say the first step is crafting that small talk, being good at it. Because when you're good at it, no matter what anyone tells you, a topic or a conversation, you're ready to go because you've already built that comfort zone.
You can handle it.
You can handle it. So once you build that comfort zone, you handle it. Then when you get to prepared speeches, you'll be able to flow, even if you don't. When I first started off, I would write out my speeches, and I would have to remember word for word, dot for dot, punctuation for punctuation. But really that affected my creativity and my flow. So by being able to be great at small talk, it helped me to my prepared speeches. I was able to go with the flow because at the end of the day, no one knows what I wrote on my paper but me. So improving your public speaking ability, speak to everyone, take an opportunity. And I tell people when they first start off, some people say you don't have to start off free. Some people say you should just start off getting paid. But when you first start off or you get paid for it, take the opportunities that come to you, but leverage them. Of course, you want to make sure those speaking opportunities identify with your purpose, your philosophy, your target audience, your brand. It has to connect with you. So the speaking opportunities, take them. Take them and use them to the best of your ability. And even when you start off in the beginning, what I will say is, even if it's not your specific target audience, take that opportunity to let it be a subject or something you're comfortable with or you're knowledgeable about. And even though it's not what you really want to be in, take those opportunities to practice.
That's right. Yeah, everything that you want to do in life, you got to put a little work into it. And it might not always be the way that you think it ought to be the way, but it's the way God sent it to you. So you got to take advantage of that. You know, the way we see things oftentimes are quite different than how our Heavenly Father see things. So you're right about that. And I like that. You have to take the opportunity as it presents itself to you. All right, Fayola, so keep moving. I like what you're saying. Now keep going.
And it's so true what you say, as we are believers in Christ, and don't mean to offend anybody who's not in our faith, but for me, I can't hide my faith. And it's one of those things where we all have a purpose, a destined purpose, and a reason why we're on the earth. We're not just here to live, breathe, eat, and do all the things we do in life. There's a purpose and a reason behind why we're here on earth. And when you connect with it and find it, especially for speakers, you can see the sparkle in their eyes when they're talking about their topic. Absolutely. Or, right. In their space. So that's what I would say, encouraging to improve your speaking ability. Now, if you are a speaker, you've been speaking maybe for a while, or you're a veteran speaker, and you want to take your business to the next level, the best advice I would give to this group of people, our group of speakers, is have a niche. Be as specific as possible on what you're speaking on. For instance, if you're speaking on customer service and that's your background, you're in corporate America, hospitality, travel and tourism, whatever it was, and you want to hone in on customer service, be as specific as possible. Customer service. Are you saying customer service in healthcare? And if you're saying customer service in healthcare, is it from the physicians and the healthcare providers level? Is it from the nurses and the other allied health level? Like, be as specific as possible, because when people are looking for speakers, they want to go to the go-to person who's an expert in that space. So you don't want to just say, I am an expert in customer service, because that is so broad. So they say when customers don't know what you're known for, then they're confused and then you have no customers. So just being as specific as possible, really honing in, whether it's your professional training, whether you're educationally trained, and even if it's not the traditional route, even the non-traditional route, taking certifications, taking those courses online, going to seminars, going to conferences. I meant really be the expert. Like hands down, you know your stuff inside and out, that people say, when I'm thinking of someone in customer service, in healthcare, that from a physician's perspective, then I know that so-and-so is the go-to person in that space. So that's what I would say to speakers who are already in the business. And what I will also say is never get comfortable that you are perfect.
Okay.
Because you should always be crafting your skill set. No matter how good you are, it's something when speakers get comfortable. I've been speaking for 5 years. I'm making 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, whatever that number is that you feel like you've arrived. You should never feel that comfortable, because once you start to feel comfortable and you start to be lit, then your craft is affected. So always perfecting your craft, always practicing your skill set, always knowing that you continue to educate yourself in that space that you're speaking on. Be able to go to these conferences, go to these workshops, seminars, host them yourself as well as attend them, and you'll continually be in the know, and you'll always be ahead of the game. Any great speaker is ahead of the industry. They're not speaking on what is taking place now in whatever space they're speaking on. So when you think of, I'm not a public speaker, but when you think of Steve Jobs and Apple, he was futuristic. So that's what made him the go-to man for technology. So it's the same thing with speakers. Be so futuristic that you're looking 5, 10, 15 years ahead of the industry, and you're bringing that skill set to them. Of course, you want to do it with, you got to kind of test the waters, because you don't want to be too far in advance. People can't catch up to you, but enough that you're not speaking of now, you're speaking of what's to come.
All right, awesome. So, I mean, this is just wonderful talk here. We started out with people that was going from wanting to be an aspiring speaker to those that's already doing this thing, and they can take it on up to the next level. So what you're saying is there's always room for growth and expansion. I like that. So anyways, Fayola, we're going to start to wrap things up a little bit. And so for the folks that's on the latter end, that's just starting out and aspiring, thinking about it, might have done a little work here and there on the subject matter, what can they do now to elevate themselves and take it to the next level? Like they say, "Ooh, I've been thinking about speaking, but I just haven't started." So what can we recommend and give them as we wrap things up?
Well, I'm so glad you said that, because I have a call to action. And I truly believe, as a speaker's coach and a business coach, I'm one of those, I say you always take advantage of the opportunities. And this year, God told me great expectations. And I was wondering, I said, 2015 is about to close, God, what are you doing? And by surprise, God is not a man that he should lie, and his word shall not come back void. So that's the same thing I say to people who's listening today. The opportunity today is realizing, whether you're an aspiring speaker, whether you've started speaking, or whether you've been a veteran speaker, realizing that there's always an opportunity to get more involved and perfect your craft. So as I say that, I have an opportunity today that is priceless. Because during this 8-week program that's actually starting this Sunday, November 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, it's a 2-hour, 8-week training program called the Authentic Speakers Unleashing 8-Week Training Program Online. And it'll be hosted by myself. As I said, I'm an award-winning speaker. I'm a speaker's coach. So I know what I'm talking about. And I really want to help whatever capacity or level in public speaking you are in. This is for you, because it's an opportunity to help you to take yourself to the next level. And the reason why I say this opportunity is priceless, because the value of this 8-week program, $2,274. So not only will you get the 8-week online training program, you will also get 1 hour coaching, a 1 hour private coaching with me, which is valued at $100. So as I said, it's an 8-week program. You get a 1 hour private coaching session with me, as well as my manual. And this is valued at $2,274. And the course is currently $297. Once again, $297. So if those are really serious about making sure that 2015 is the year that they get their speaking career started, I will take $100 off just for them. But in order to take advantage of this opportunity, you need to register by Saturday, which is October 31st, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And in order to register, you need to send an email to info info at F as in Frank, AYOLADELICA.com. Once again, that's info at FayolaDelica.com. So if you say that you heard me on Valerie's show, we will take $100 off, so it'll just be $197. So really, you're getting the course for free, and all you're paying for is the manual. So this is an opportunity that you do not want to miss. And I always give privileges and opportunities to those who are willing to take the fast action offer.
Very good. So now, Fayola, is this something that you run regular, or is this a one-time shot? How often do you run these type of courses?
Well, this is going to be a twice a year program where actually this is our first course launching off, because usually what I was doing was a one-on-one coaching. But I kept getting people who are asking me, hey, when are you going to start a program? Or when are you going to do a group coaching? Because I really want to be trained in becoming a speaker or build my skill set. So I said, okay, we'll start a class in January. People was like, no, I can't wait till January 2016. I need to start in 2015. So we actually are doing a separate course. This is a more modified course from our January course, but this is just as much value as what will be happening in January. So January, it's going to be $697. So this is why I say, if you're really serious about taking your speaking career to the next level, or to get your speaking career started, the Fast Action Offer is an 8-week program with 2 bonuses, and you're only paying $197. All you have to do is email us, tell us you heard us on Valerie's show, and we'll definitely get you enrolled for our class that's starting this Sunday, November 1st at 7 p.m., but you have to send us that email by Saturday, October 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, Fayola, you've just been delightful. I love you dearly, and we're going to close this call up for right now. And like I said, we'll be doing some future talks so people can always expand and expound on the knowledge you have, because boy, you are so amazing. So thank you so much. All right, Fayola. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Rich Flow of Life podcast with host Valerie Kanay. We're most appreciative you took the time to be with us, and thank you. For more action, go subscribe to Valerie Kanay Talks YouTube channel and like us on Facebook at Valerie Kanay Talks, and follow us on Twitter at Valerie Kanay. Until next time, we love ya.